Blue Lock 238 is now out as we continue on from the last chapter with Hiori running up with the ball as Nico is guarding him. We see Ness and Kunigami also running the field as Moonchen prepares for its final assault. This is now the time for Hiori to follow his ego and go all in. Nico was noticing that Hiori accelerated and he can't stop him in a 1v1, so he decides to just be able to slow down Hiori's attack. We then go back to Isagi and we see he is now running again, being marked by Ryu. Isagi is now moving off of Hiori's movements to receive the final pass. He's allowing Hiori to become the spotlight of the field to be able to sneak out and get the pass, but Ryu is making sure that doesn't happen. He does not want Isagi to be able to roam freely. We have seen Isagi do this many times where he's able to score because of it. We also get to see Aiku as he says that aiming for the chaos created by those two and predicting the trajectory of Hiori's pass, we see Kaiser now come as he is also working on taking the final goal. Aiku's assignment is now not taking his eyes off of Kaiser as he cannot let him to score either. There are so many options in this game as it comes down to the wire. We see Kaiser saying kill Yoichi as he is running towards him to not let him escape. We go back to Hiori as he is working to get past Nico. Nico notices how fast Hiori is and we see the glass aura come out of him once again. Nico isn't sure if he goes right or left. Hiori manages to get past Nico as Ryu notices that the pass route has now opened for Hiori to try to get the ball to Isagi. We see Isagi looking for him as well, and Aiku notices that Hiori is not looking at Isagi but is instead only looking at the ball. Everyone now thinks Hiori is going to score and he plans on shooting it himself. As he gets ready to score, we see Lorenzo come up to stop him and says how selfish. That's what Blue Lock is all about. There are players everywhere now in the field as Lorenzo has come to even stop Hiori, and it's a total frenzy. As Lorenzo goes to stop Hiori, Hiori feints the ball, leaving Nico and Lorenzo absolutely shocked and they don't know what he's planning. Although they didn't know, we hear someone in the distance say how predictable. We then see Baro come for Hiori and say in the end, you're just gonna pass. He continues on saying the pass route sealed off, and without Isagi, he is just an insignificant lackey, too weak to fight for himself. Hiori doesn't care or mind Baro, and he tells him that he's too slow. You can already see Isagi scoring the game-winning goal, and Baro is confused by this as well as Kaiser, leaving them both with the shocked face that we see in last chapter. We then see Isagi get past Ryu and runs towards the goal without even looking for the ball. Hiori is now working on getting past Baro, and Baro can't believe it. This whole time, Hiori and Isagi have not been looking at each other at all. This is a completely new unpredictable play because up until now they needed to see each other to work together, but they were still falling short because they were thinking too much ahead instead of reacting. Now with straight reflex, Hiori can tell where to pass the ball to for Isagi to score. We then see Hiori pass the ball over as Isagi has now gained pace by himself. Hiori asks if Isagi is there and Isagi tells him yeah. We see Isagi's puzzle aura come out and Isagi and Hiori are both in cross flow now as Isagi heads towards the goal. Aiku, Ryu, and Kaiser are all completely stunned, and if he's the real deal and they're the real deal, then the only way for this to work was for Hiori and Isagi to clash and cross their visions of becoming the best in the world. The ball is now in front of Isagi for a perfect pass, and in front of the goal, it's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and in that instant, Isagi shoots with his direct shot, scoring the goal. The ball lands in the top corner, going past Fukaku, and Hiori is hyped. We then see Isagi and Hiori hug and embrace the moment of the game-winning goal. The duo can even go beyond their wildest dreams. The word impossible doesn't exist in Isagi and Hiori's vocabulary. As the two egoists conquer the chaos and score the game-winning goal, they show the world that they are the epicenter of the football universe. Now I won't lie, this chapter was insane. Many might think the goal was simple and mediocre, but I think there's a lot that came from this chapter as the game ended. Right when Hiori got subbed in, he understood the plan that they both needed to read and analyze the game with Metavision to do that. They were doing that all game, but it wasn't working as they were coming up short due to that thinking. Instead, they both needed to rely on reflex and not think at all. They showed back before when Hiori told Isagi the same advice and it worked well for him, and now they both used reflex at the same time and understood each other's spots without looking for each other. We haven't seen a duo look this in sync since Sae and Shido, honestly. To be able to instinctively find your teammate without even knowing where he is extremely impressive. Isagi's Metavision was no longer good being on his own. He needed someone else who could see the game the same way he does and went after Hiori to be able to compete in this game. We've now seen a new look for Metavision as it looked like Hiori and Isagi had developed a duo Metavision at the same time. They were completely in sync like they were the same person. I think in this panel when Isagi seen Hiori shoot the ball, he didn't mind it because he would have done the same thing. So instead of just forcing Hiori to pass him the ball and think it over, he just let Hiori rely on his instincts to try and score, allowing Hiori's options to work out more due to just flowing into the game and adapting on the fly. This is Isagi's strong point, being an adaptability demon, and Hiori has done the same thing very good as well. Hiori tells Baro he already had the game-winning goal in his head already, so he needed to time the ball perfectly for Isagi to be able to react to it, then think about what to do. This created a dynamic opportunity that we don't see often. This game was so crucial for both characters coming off of the last game. For Isagi, this game meant everything, as he was found the spark from the Manstein match, but was not satisfied as he needed to be able to defeat Kaiser with goals. We've seen him express his desire over and over to score goals and capture the future faster than anyone else with Metavision. In the beginning of the match, he relied too heavily on Metavision, and others like IQ and Nico ended up with Metavision, where his alone just could not work. This game also decided who would become the new king of Munchen if the king could manage to destroy Uber's defensive game plan. Not only did Isagi destroy their game plan, but also change their game plan as Baro was dissatisfied with their strategies, making the game more chaotic. Isagi needed to do whatever it takes to win this game, as he didn't care about anything else other than destroying Ubers and KiiNGKhyy in the same process. Isagi had to test his new theory and score with goals this time. He no longer wants to be the guy who gives assists, as he knows that's not what he's here for. He accepted the challenge against KiiNGKhyy to score goals and had no problem from it. He didn't shy away from the new Gen 11 forward and instead took the challenge with open arms, as he is confident in his abilities. Isagi went through insane training to be able to fix his weaknesses, which was his physical ability and having only his direct shot. He managed to create a secondary weapon, lefty direct shot, which scored him the first goal in this game, and he had a weapon that was perfect to keep people off guard. This was the weapon we all expected to be the one to take out KiiNGKhyy, but it was stopped as IQ knew its methods to stop this. Eventually, Isagi needs Hiori to come into the game so that Isagi himself can become this game's hero. Hiori is able to give Noah a logical reason to come in this game and saying how there could essentially be two Isagis on the field at once. This is exactly what ended up happening, as they think the same and can move around as a coordinated duo. Hiori became Isagi's shadow at first, but then became a light of his own to cater to Isagi even more. This was a daring request from Isagi, because if he couldn't get the job done, he would be benched in the next match, and Isagi took on that challenge once again. He has never cared for the challenges and consequences of things. All he knows is to compete in the current moment. Until the final whistle blew, he needed to keep being a world-class protagonist and keep an all-out assault to win this game. This chapter was called Dreamers, and it made perfect sense. Isagi had the dream of becoming the best in the world, and he couldn't quite figure it out yet as the game went on. He wanted to become this game's hero to take down KiiNGKhyy and show the world he's up there with the rest of them. For Hiori now, it is different. Hiori came into this game with no confidence in himself and just wanted to find a reason to quit football. He had seen the fun and fire in Isagi and wanted to take him with him so he could also have that type of fun. Hiori had all types of expectations on him and finally let all that go and just became himself. His original ego started to come out, and we got to know a lot about him in this match. Hiori needed to find a way to reignite his passion for the sport, and he finally has found that after this game. He wanted to become the center of the world just like Isagi and see what it's like. After playing an intense match like the NEL, he finally understood what Isagi was seeing. He never realized how fun football was and how greedy his ego was. For him, it was all about believing in himself and just focusing on things that matter. All of the extra details don't matter and can't determine how you live. Hiori can now allow himself to dream and do what he wants without the expectations of his parents. He no longer needs to be trapped in a cage like a bird and can be set free. We see the broken glass aura around him a lot as he was fragile and hurting. Isagi had the dream of becoming the hero. Hiori had a dream of finally believing in himself. Now both of their dreams have come true. This was a great chapter, and the next chapter, chapter 239, is called Creation. We could see them go into detail on how the goal is scored, or it could be a creation of something else. We will see as Blue Lock will go forward for the PXG match. Well, I thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back in the next one. Peace.